Welcome dreamers, welcome back to another Saturday video. Today, we're gonna finish the build that we started yesterday. If you saw yesterday's video, you'll know that we made an estate build. We started a estate with a fully tilled garden area. Now, we didn't get to starting the garden and we didn't finish the estate, but that's what we're gonna do today. We'll have a little bit of farming and mostly building to do today, but before we get into that, a usual reminder that DreamWorld is available in early access. If you go down to the description of this video, you'll find a link to DreamWorld's website where you can download the free trial, which will allow you to try the game for yourself, and if you like what you play in the trial, feel free to purchase DreamWorld today. Again, link in the description, feel free to check it out. But let's get right to it. Let's continue from where we left off with our estate build in DreamWorld. Actually started the build, I did quite a bit of farming. I ran out of red brick after the last build, and I also wanted to get a few more resources. Instead of using red brick, we're going to use terracotta for today's build, which uses the same resources to make red brick. However, it looks a little different than red brick. Along with terracotta, we're going to also use black brick by farming some stone and shale in the mountains. And I also need to farm a lot more pine trees because I'm fresh out of pine wood, and I need to use the pine wood to work on the upper levels and finish the roof of the build. So after I spent a while farming these resources, I got right back to the build. So to start constructing the upper levels of the lodge, we have to actually make a staircase going up. I'm going to use a spiral staircase mixed with regular ramp staircases. We're going to wrap the stairs going around the inside of the lodge, as I feel like this is going to best utilize the space inside the lodge. We'll have both the staircases as well as a landing area that you can, go around the inside of the build and up. Now that we're at the height that we want the final level of the build to be at, we're going to start constructing the cylindrical rooms that are going to be up here. That's right, those cylindrical, areas that we made in part 1 of the build, we're now going to go and make flooring on the 3rd level. These are going to act as, bedrooms for the lodge. We won't go into interior decorating them yet, but we'll just, build them for maybe interior decorating later. For now, I'm going to use redwood for the flooring, but I might change it later. Now that that room's done, let's go and finish the flooring for the rest of this final level. We're gonna go ahead and build flooring everywhere we can on this final level. I wanna make it as big as possible. However, some spots we're not gonna be able to put flooring down because it'll block the stairway going up. Now that we finished the floor, I'm gonna go to the other cylindrical room, and this time I'm gonna use pine wood for the flooring. I'm using different colored wood for both of the cylindrical rooms because I wanna see which floor looks better, or which floor I like better. Alright, we officially have the flooring for the final level of the lodge done. Now we're gonna do something kind of cool. Similar to, part 1 that we did yesterday where I made the side walls of the entryway made out of, shrinking building assets. We're gonna do this again up here. I'm gonna make a decorative wall on this back wall of the lodge on the 3rd level. To start off with the first layer of walling, I'm gonna use these triangle sloped walls. I'm gonna combine them in a pattern that kind of looks like jagged teeth, and then I'm gonna also, as I build up, mix in other building assets. I'm now going to put some pillars going up, alongside this part of the wall. I'll expand on those as I build. For the next layer of building assets on the wall, we're going to use door frames. I'm going to build these right above the triangle pieces, and this is going to hopefully create an interesting pattern for our build. For the 3rd level of building assets, we're gonna mimic the triangle pattern on, the first layer, and we're gonna make the 3rd layer basically that jagged teeth again. Gonna use the same, triangle sloped wall pieces too. These 2 levels of walls are gonna be completely symmetrical. Let's go ahead and extend the pillars up to where we're going to actually end the wall. So for the last layer of walling here, we're going to use fences. These are going to go right above the, layer of triangle sloped wall pieces. And it's going to hopefully make the, connection between the roofing and this wall look pretty natural. Okay, our decorative wall is done. We now have to go and actually make it so we can build off of this section of the wall. I'm gonna put some window frames here after I delete some of these wall pieces. And these window frames are gonna be walls where we can get snap points to actually make the top roof, the main roof of the build. We're also going to finish up the, side rooms that we have on this last level. I'm going to actually go to the room where we made the redwood floors and replace it with pinewood floors. I kind of realized that I like the pinewood flooring up here better than the redwood flooring. Plus, it created some contrast in the colors if I had pinewood flooring. I'm also going to make the, entryways to each of these rooms and wall them off. Alright, for the main roof, we're going to use our roofing pieces, and we're just going to basically build off of those window frames we built earlier. We'll use pine wood for the roofing here like we did with the entryway roof. Now for my black brick wall, I had to put a window frame here real quick so I could get the snap point to actually connect the roofing down to this part of the wall, and it worked great. We were able to get the pieces to connect to this black brick wall pretty naturally. Now for the side rooms, we're going to use cylindrical roofing, and we're going to mix different roofing assets in order to make this side room roof look pretty complete and pretty neat. We were able to get it to be really symmetrical and clean. We're going to make sure to make both of the rooms have the exact same roofing pattern. Now to finish up this last level and even just the whole of the main lodge area, we're going to make banisters, all around the staircase, and even put some pillars around, have some decorative posts along the walls. I'll also go ahead and put some redwood fencing along the staircase. On the bottom level, I'm going to make a little room under the stairs here. This will be an area where you can put your smelters, crafting stations, all your benches that you need. I'm also going to wall off each of the bottom areas where those cylindrical rooms were. Not sure what I'm going to put here yet, but I'm at least going to make them separate rooms where I can get creative with interior decorating there. This way we'll have a main hall, 2 cylindrical rooms on the bottom, and then a staircase going up to the bedrooms of the estate. All right, walking through, I'm just gonna double check that everything is done, and it looks like it is. So now all we have to do is throw some lighting into this build. Upstairs, we're gonna use pine wood torches for a nice bright light. And then for the rest of the build, we're going to use conifer and redwood torches. And lastly, to put the front doors in, we're going to use black brick front doors. Now that the main lodge is done, we can go ahead and start the construction on the garden. We farmed all that black brick, so we're going to use that to create the fencing around the garden. This is going to basically shape out the dimensions of the garden, and we're going to know how much space we're going to have when we finish this fence. I'll make sure to wrap both sides of the garden around so they connect back to each other at the entrance of where the estate's going to be. Next thing I want to do out here is I want to make a walkway. This is where the terracotta is going to come into play. We're going to go ahead and dig out the ground where we're going to place the terracotta walkway because we don't want the grass that's coming off of the ground to actually poke through the terracotta walkway. It's going to look not so good. You'll notice here that after I dug out the ground, the walkway went in perfectly with no grass poking out of it. But we're going to go ahead and keep expanding this walkway to, loop around the garden, give us some pathways going around, and even eventually we're going to connect it to the entrance. I'll pause real quick on the walkway to make a little garden area over here, possibly a farm. I might plant some farm over here, or I might just make a little decorative area with some hedges. That's to be determined. Now that we're at the center of where the garden would be, I'm gonna start construction on a well. We're gonna make a little decorative fountain / well area over here, just to make the garden look nicer and to, create some more breakup from just all the terracotta. So we've got the foundations for the well done. Let's now go ahead and finish this pathway. We're first going to connect it to that little farming section we just made, and then we're going to go ahead and connect it to the entrance to the estates. Our main path is done. We can now go ahead and finish construction on this well. I'm gonna use fencing to build walls down under the well, because later we're gonna use some building assets to build down here and actually make it look like there's water in the well. We'll also keep some fencing up top to, create a little banister so you don't fall in the well constantly. And also it looks better for decoration. Let's go back to the pathway now and create a little side path, that juts out from the main one. I saw this area of the garden that was, it wasn't really being utilized. It was this open area that I hadn't done anything with, so I figured I'd at least put a pathway towards that area if I want to create a different little farm or garden over there later. We'll use the same method that we did with the other pathways, dig out the ground so the grass doesn't poke through, and then, build the walkway out. I'm also going to make sure to go put some terracotta fencing along the pathway. This way it feels more like an enclosed pathway. Now to create the water in the well, how are we gonna do this? So we're gonna actually use regular building assets, just regular flooring, but we're gonna use smelted blue crystals on them. These resources have a shimmering effect about them that, will make it look like water because it's blue and it shimmers, so that's kind of water-like look. I'm gonna make 2 layers of these cylindrical flooring. So when it came to torch lighting, I put some terracotta torches at the entrance to the estate, and then I went about doing my light trick with the water. So we're gonna use smelted blue crystal torches underneath the top layer of flooring. This will just add to the shimmering effect. You know how light dances off water? This is the effect that's going to be created by using blue crystal torches. And lastly, for lighting, we're going to put some conifer torches at the front of the estate. There we go. Just like that, our estate and garden area are completely finished. Thank you so much for watching this 2-part build. I had a lot of fun with it myself. I used some new strategies to build here, as well as, use the ones that I've used in previous videos, but all in all, I think it came out great. Again, if you want to try DreamWorld out for yourself, head down to the description where there's a link to the website. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see videos similar to this one. Have an amazing weekend, everybody. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.